Alright, welcome back to my, my series of my most recent vacuum acquisitions. So now we got a Dirt Devil Vision with sensor, and I have it positioned like that because if you look kind of close... Oh, wait. Let me move the camera. You can see that the Ultra MVP, it actually, basically snowplowed a bunch of stuff. I thought it picked everything up, but once I actually moved it, then it turned out left some stuff behind, but yeah, with the Dirt Devil Vision now back in place, this was kind of one of my holy grails in terms of vacuum collecting. Like, I totally remember seeing these on the shelves at Target and thinking like, oh my god, that's so cool. And when you're a kid that collects vacuums, you don't think anything's cool. But this was kind of like the Ultra MVP. This was the best thing Dirt Devil had at the time. This was their very first bagless design, and so I believe this is a single cyclone setup. I don't even know if does that even count as a cyclone if you just have a filter in the middle. I don't know. But yeah, they basically, I guess, saw Phantom come onto the market and were like, oh, that's selling really well. Let's make a bagless vacuum of our own, but we can't infringe on Dyson's patents or Phantom's patents. It's the same thing. And so they made the Dirt Devil Swivel Glide Vision. The next version is called a Dirt Devil Vision Turbo. I kind of hate how they have the same name. Like if you're trying to look stuff up about them, and I think the Dirt Devil Vision Turbos are kind of ugly. So I don't want one. So yeah. But let's take a closer look at this vacuum. It's interesting. So a regular Dirt Devil Vision is gonna have a base like a swivel glide, where you have a height adjustment dial in the middle, a handle release button that sticks up, and a small bumper and no brushroll window. Now this was Dirt Devil's top of the line vacuum, so it got all the fancy stuff. You actually have a Brushroll Clutch right here, which is pretty interesting, and I'll have to open this vacuum up sometime because I haven't seen a setup like this before. So let's see if I remember the layout of this vacuum correctly. Yeah, so you have one belt that goes here to about here, and this piece moves a little arm that puts on kind of you have one wheel that's just spinning free, and then one wheel with another belt that connects it to the brush roll. So kind of like I guess a bit like a SIBO. This vacuum, or a SIBO Automatic X. This vacuum has two belts, so that's unique. You also got a dirt sensor system, which is a fun novelty. Oh, what else? Yeah, the handle release is a bit different as well. As I was saying before, the Visions in the Swivel Glides, the regular ones, just had a circular one that popped up, and you always see, I've always seen the Swivel Glide that I grew up with had I think the motor mounts break around there, so the handle release never worked, but this one did have a working handle release. And actually, going back to that Ultra MVP, when I was at the thrift store, I almost got a Dirt Devil Vision that was there, and it actually had a working handle release, so that's kind of a surprise. But the reason I didn't pick that one up was because it was very dirty. Like, it was filled up to about here, and this piece that holds the hose to the body of the vacuum, or like the attachment hose to here, I guess it'd be this piece. It was not screwed in, and it was just kind of flopping around, so I passed on that one. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of hunting down parts rolled vacuums. Like, it's kind of a pain. But this is one I actually just got off of Mercari, because you know, I've been looking for one for a long time, and, you know, I'm not gonna pretend I'm one of those, like, vacuum collectors that's always, like, you know, getting super good deals and stuff. I'm just doing this for fun. But let's actually take a closer look at the dust cup, because that's kind of interesting. Ooh, that's not coming out easy. There we go. So you can see everyone's favorite Dirt Devil guy, the little Lego dude from the commercials. So yeah, they're advertising that Brushroll off, the dirt sensor, 12 amps of maximum vacuum power from the, you know, the amperage wars. Got the swivel casters, which I'll take a closer look at here. It's an alright setup. I mean, I'd say a basic swivel neck spatter or like a Dyson ball setup, but you know, this was at least trying to do something interesting. But it has a headlight and bagless technology, so you'll never buy another bag again. Oh boy. So what that meant was that you had to deal with the permafilter, a dishwashable thing with a... This is a weird, like, setup. I don't know. Like, it's not a paper cartridge filter. It's made of some kind of... I don't know. Almost feels like a... It feels kind of like those, like, rolls of cardboard that stuff gets kind of, like, wrapped around. Like, if you've ever opened up a SIBO Felix's, like, exhaust filter, it feels kind of like that material that the filter's wrapped around. So hopefully there's not, like, asbestos in there or anything. And you can see that, like, that wonderful bagless technology means that when I tried to empty this thing out a while back, it basically there's basically just a bunch of pet hair stuck at the bottom. Oh, we have some instructions. Let's see. So you can clean the filter with a dry brush, or you can run the filter through a dishwasher. And you see that they have a performance wheel right here. I just wondered what that was, but now I know, because this is the first Dirt Vision that or other than the first store one that I saw a month ago. This is the first Dirt Vision I've seen in a very long time, and the first one that I've ever used. So, what else is there to say? Now, this one did arrive in pretty clean shape, but unfortunately, in shipping, the part of the hood broke off. Like, it's not actually a single piece like the Ultra MVP. These are actually, like, two separate pieces that are on here, and sadly, this one broke right at the screw mount, and you can even see where the screw is still in there, but it doesn't really affect the functioning of the vacuum, so I'm just gonna leave it, because it's not like I'm gonna use a 1999 bagless Dirt Devil as my main vacuum. But one thing that is cool is that you can actually see the dirt sensor wiring. So yeah, it comes out of that little area where the motor is located. Got some wires going here into a quick disconnect thing. And then got the lights here. So I don't really know the details of how this dirt sensor works. Like, I guess because the vacuum's air path is like right around here, I'd assume that there's some kind of maybe like sound sensor. But I haven't gotten too into this vacuum. Like, if it's something like, if a vacuum's kind of fragile and I don't need to get into it, then I'll basically just like do a good cleaning of the exterior and the, you know, the dust cup and stuff, and I'm pretty content to leave it at that, you know, just replace belts and filters and stuff. Although I do need to find some belts for this one, because they take Dirt Devil style 9 belts, which are pretty hard to find these days. And I'm not entirely certain, because you have that 2 belt setup that I mentioned earlier. I'm not sure if they're the same belt size or 2 different ones. There's not much like I guess part support for these vacuums these days. So anyways, I'll fire it up and use it on the carpet. I'm not gonna do the Brushroll Clutch because it's, I've never been able to get it to work. Like, I was able to make the arm move when I had the belts off when I was cleaning the vacuum out, but I don't know. I don't want to risk breaking a 90s Dirt Devil. That did not sound good. Usually it's a lot smoother, but one of my family members moved the vacuum while I was, well, without me knowing, so hopefully they didn't break it. But anyways, time for my eardrums to be destroyed because this thing's pretty loud. Where's the on switch? There it is. I think. That is so loud. Oh my god. This is why I like European vacuums. Yeah, so that's the Dirt Devil VIN with sensor. I think it's a first generation bagless vacuum. That's my verdict on it.